Today, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be telling you a few tips and tricks so then that way you can prepare for the upcoming Arise crossover update. And these tips are going to be ranging from pretty simple stuff all the way up to how to get really broken. So then that way when the update releases, you can go ahead, one-shot everything, max out the update. So yeah, if this video does end up being helpful, which probably it will be, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And without further ado, let's jump right into this. Alright, so first things first, what exactly are you going to need to mostly focus on when it comes to preparing for the update? Well, you are definitely going to be needing a really OP weapon. And of course, I think you guys know exactly what weapon I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mythical sword, the Laruda daggers. Now, for those of you that don't already know how you get this, pretty much you just need to take out, this Laruda boss, and then it has a really small chance of dropping, which in fact, in the recent update that came out, I believe yesterday morning, or should I say today morning, because it was at like 1 AM. Yeah, they basically buffed the drop rate on these Larudas. However, I know a lot of you guys have been struggling still when it comes to getting Laruda daggers, like SMG. I have gone 2 days straight without getting a Laruda dagger. What exactly can I do? Well, actually, there's quite a lot of stuff you can do. There are two simple methods that you could do in order to increase your chances. For example, one of them is going to be relics. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, in the game, there are actually some relics which will go ahead and increase your drop chance. For example, over here in the Discord, right, there's a whole section on what exactly every single relic does and how to get them. In this case, the one that we want to mostly focus on is, for example, going to be in the Brum Island, aka the Drift Compass, which according to this document is going to be giving you up to 8.40% extra drop chance. Now, yes, I know that doesn't exactly sound like a lot, but think about it this way, right? If you are grinding the game, right, let's say you got a bunch of tickets and then you went ahead and you bought yourself the extra relic slot, a game pass, or maybe you're in a guild like me, where you can go ahead and you can go to the guild upgrades and buy the extra relic slot. Yeah, that pretty much means you can equip up to 3 different relics. Now, in this case, the ones you want to focus on is going to be found in the Brum Island, giving you up to 8.4%. Then as well, there is also going to be, I believe, at the Dragon City. And yes, it is right over here, the side node, giving you up to 13% extra drop chance. And then as well, I believe there should be one more, or maybe I miscalculated. Yeah, never mind. I think I misread one of them. I thought there were 3 different ones, but hey, there's still 2 of them, giving you 8.4% if you're super lucky. And as well, there's also 13%, meaning that if you were to add it up, that's like a 21% whole increase. Plus as well, keep in mind, by the way, when you get these drop chance relics, let's say you get it as B rank, for example, right? The extra drop chance boost is going to be giving you even more chances at getting the relics. Like, literally, if I were to describe it simply, the faster you get the relics, then the faster you'll get the better relics. So yeah, it doesn't matter what rank your relic is, just get one. It will increase your chances at getting even more relics, and then with that, aim for SS. S is also fine. Then from there, once you have a full team of relics, then you should be good to continue the AFK farming. But wait, SMG, you said that there were 2 different methods that you can go ahead and increase your chances, and well, yes, I didn't lie to you guys. However, the second part of this method is going to be a little bit tedious because you can't really AFK it. So basically what I'm trying to say, right, is that once this boss spawns on in, whenever the boss spawns, which by the way, for those of you that don't already know, it spawns every time this number over here, the second 2 numbers, hits 10 and 40. Pretty much it happens every 30 minutes, first at the 10 minutes mark of the hour, and then the 40 minutes mark. And yeah, once it spawns on in, you take out the Laruda boss who gets a chance at the dagger. What exactly do you do from there? Well, in case you guys didn't already know, you can actually server hop this event, meaning that if you were to go on over, right, to the Arise crossover game, head on over to servers, and then more specifically, change it all the way to ascending, you should eventually, after a few tries, be able to get yourself into a server with the Laruda boss alive. So let's see. Right now, it seems like I am being a little bit unlucky getting into some full server, so let's see if we can be really fast. So, ascending, join. Okay, no. Seems like a lot of people are doing this method, but hey, don't worry, there is a little bit of a solution. What you want to do is when you go onto servers, don't click the first like 3 or 4, because that's what everyone's clicking. Maybe click the 5th one. However, do keep in mind, it's not a guaranteed chance to get in. As I mentioned, there's probably like thousands of people doing this method, so yeah, be careful. But the more you try, eventually, just like so, you'll get into a server, and hopefully the Laruda boss should be alive. So let's have a look over here, right? If I quickly head on over to this Winter Raid Island, he should hopefully, fingers crossed, be alive. So let's see. No, unfortunately not. But hey, that doesn't mean the method doesn't work. I mean, for example, I just got into a server with the Snow Monarch alive. I mean, you could take him out. I mean, a free N-rank Monarch definitely wouldn't hurt. However, honestly, you shouldn't focus too much on the units, because the most they'll give you is like maybe a few quintillion DPS. While if you were to go ahead and get yourself like, let's say, an A rank or an S rank Laruda dagger with sharpness 8, the damage on it is going to be more like a few hundred quintillions, I'm gonna be honest. Plus as well, even though it's a Snow Monarch and, you know, it doesn't drop the Laruda daggers, it's still pretty good for dust farming. Like, in case you guys didn't already know, every single boss on this island actually drops dust, and it's actually the reason why I've gone ahead and gotten myself max dust in every single category. Plus as well, when you take out these bosses, it gives you XP. Meaning that if you AFK here for a really long time, it's going to give you XP, you're going to be able to level up, and then you can allocate all of your points into like weapon mastery or player speed. It's honestly up to you guys, but in my opinion, weapon mastery is definitely the one you want to max out first, because at this very moment, it is pretty much a sword meta. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next part of this method. Now, this one is going to be even more tedious. It's actually, to be honest, a whole version of itself. So yeah, when I said there were 2 methods, I kind of lied. There's actually 3 methods. However, this one is going to be involving a lot of Robux, and as well a bunch of different people. And what I mean by that is, you guys know private servers, right? Well, yeah, it turns out that you can actually go ahead and technically get a bunch of people with private servers, right? You could put an alt account in it. Let's say you just put, I don't know, let's say your first alt account or second alt account, doesn't really matter. Then from there, just make sure it is in the servers, and then that's way when the winter raid starts, then you can jump into, you know, the Laruda boss completely unbothered. Like, there's pretty much guarantees that whenever you join a quote-unquote random server, even though it's not random, you will definitely get a Laruda boss. Like, there will be no competition, no one would have taken it out. It's literally a private server. However, as I mentioned, you either need a lot of Robux or B, a lot of friends. However, I'm just trying to point out the method, so at least you guys know. But anyways, apart from that though, what other things are you going to need when it comes to preparing for this update? Well, there is technically 2 more things you could grind for: money and as well gems. Now, why exactly do I say this? Well, when the new island drops, right, and it's going to be having a whole bunch of new weapons that might or may not, you know, be better than this mythical sword. Let's say for the case of this video that they are going to be better than this sword, then you are going to be needing as much money as possible, so then that way you can go ahead and quickly finish up and, you know, get all of the brand new swords at like S rank and SS rank. So then that way you can catch up with all of the other people and pretty much like max out the update as soon as possible. So yeah, what exactly does that mean you need to do? Well, you are going to head on over here to the One Punch Island, and you want to go ahead and just AFK on this cyber boss. Like, literally, that's all you want to do. You want to put on an auto clicker, you want to sit here, and you want to farm money and as well gems. Now, for my complete and honest opinion, how much money and gems is this going to give? Well, probably in around a day or so, you could definitely get a few sextillion. And oh yeah, just to point out, keep in mind, by the way, you do actually get money from the Winter Raid boss. However, if you AFK a lot like me and you don't like do a bunch of server hopping, then it isn't really as efficient as just, you know, farming this boss over here. So highly recommend farm this boss, save up money, so then that's why when the new swords drop, and if they're much better than the mythical sword, then you will be all caught up and you can flex on all of your friends and your companions and whatnot that you are OP. But anyways, apart from that though, that pretty much wraps up every single tips and tricks that I do have to tell you guys. If you did end up finding this video helpful, you know, maybe I taught you a thing or two, then feel free to show your support by hitting that like and subscribe button. Like, literally, it really means a lot. Like, no joke, yesterday I managed to hit like 15,000 subscribers, and honestly, the fact that we reached 10k like not even a month ago, that is some crazy progress. So yeah, love you guys, you are all amazing, and honestly, all of this means the world to me, and I'm glad that I'm able to help you guys out, so then that way, just like me, you can go ahead and max out this pretty fun game. But yeah, apart from that though, that pretty much wraps up the video. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, I'm gonna continue AFK grinding because I still need Laruda daggers and XP and a bunch of other things. So yeah, peace out everybody.